Okay, time to start building. I have put a flat coat on everything and it has come up beautifully. I really like the flat coat, the way it's come up. I did actually have to thin it down a little bit. I didn't buy enough, so I thinned it down a bit for all the frame parts. So the frame parts are probably still a little bit more glossy than I would have liked, but I think it'll be fine given that most of it's covered up anyway. So I'm going to start building this thing. I've got the instructions on the side here, and I've got all my bits ready to go. So I think rather than show you the complete build, I'll just show you a selection, maybe one leg, one arm, and a few others. But yeah, so I'll get started. I think it's sort of just about finding the right pieces to get going. Okay, so we've got this armor piece. Let's put this on here first, and it's probably a bit hard to see, but yeah, that's not going to come up the camera. It's the way the decals have gone down, and with the matte varnish over the top of the flat coat, it just looks brilliant. It really just looks like it's painted on the way it should, decal should, and really happy with that. So, all right, and of course we clip this on. Do it gently. There we go. Now I'm not going to do a full review of this kit. I do want to point out a few things that I sort of came across, but I don't want to do a full review of this kit because there's basically been probably 1,000,001 different reviews on this kit, and it is an old kit. It's been around for a long time, so if you're sort of interested in the nature of the kit, there's plenty to sort of look around. And this slides in here like that, clips in. Yes, I like that a lot. You see there's a decal on the bottom there. There's no sort of silvering or anything like that. It's just come up beautifully, and of course, those decals went straight down onto the paint. All right, now the leg. I'm going to start with the right leg, and you can probably see here you can see where the blue tack I had on the pegs there. I've just taken all that off, of course. Still got a bit of a metallic sheen, but I've just knocked it back a bit. It's not sort of super high gloss, but I really like this steel colour over the black. It's yeah, it's nice. Now I'm just going to show a problem that I had, and this is my fault, and I don't know if that's going to really show up or not, but the right hand back armor piece, this one here, is actually a slightly different colour than the one on the left, and the reason for that is because I didn't put two coats on it, two coats of white, so I don't think anyone's really going to notice. It is obvious on the back of it, but it's definitely a more creamy sort of view, but that's alright, you know, always make mistakes in these things. And look, it's the first time I've used this paint, so I just realised I've got to be more careful with you know, putting the correct number of coats down. But there we have a leg. Let's see how this thing. Yep, that bend's pretty good. Yep, that joint definitely seems pretty tight, so I don't have an issue with that. But that's the first leg done. Okay, so both legs are now assembled. Time for the arms. You know what, after that, I think I got it around the wrong way. Popped it in there and got it around the wrong way. Great. Let's try that again. Turn that 90 degrees. No, it's not going to let me do that. So even with great instructions, you can still get. That's interesting. Is that a hairline split? Or is that just scratch paint? So let's see if we can show that up. See, there's like a little line there. I can't tell if it's a split or if it's a scratch. I actually think it's a split in the plastic. I'm going to get my glasses of seeing. Yep, that's a crack. I should have left it. I think forcing it back over has caused a plastic to stretch and then crack. I don't even think that's really worth touching up. I think in this case it's on the back of the arm. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. It's the thing with modelling is you always find, you come across these issues where something breaks or whatever, and you just got to measure up whether it's worth actually going to the trouble of trying to patch it up or not. But anyway, that's one to remember for future. Alright, so we've got the frame and this bit clips on, and then we have this go to the top. I think it just slides in if I remember rightly. Yep. Here's two little markers there that it just slides into. And, I reckon I might have got the wrong one around out. I think I've got the shoulders around the wrong way, so I might have to check those when I've done the other one. But for now, I will pause it there and get into doing the other arm. There's the decals on the shoulder parts there. Very happy with those. But next is the waist. So what do we got? And this is a classic case of, great engineering. You sandwich two pieces together, but then you've got pieces on either end to basically clamp it all together so it never comes apart. So that's great. that is the waist. The next step is for me to get all the skirts. So let's see if I can do this without screwing it all up. Alright. Okay, so I have a skirt to wear for the party. And they're basically saying connect the legs to it. Okay, probably should have connected the legs before I put these on. Alright, so we have skirts on, we have his legs on. Next is the torso, I guess, or core fighter. Let's see what's at hand. So you've already seen one stuff up from me. Right, actually, no, you've seen a couple. The white paint on the calf armour and the splitting of the arm armour. Well, I'm going to show you something that a mistake I made when I actually first put this thing together, and it was just a matter of losing a piece. And thankfully, it was a piece that is never seen. However, I did have to make a slight adjustment. there's an assembly that should actually go between this piece and this piece, and I lost one of those pieces. So what I actually did was I just took that out at all, and it's a bit of a shame because it's sort of the see the pistons move as the arms pivot out, but in order to just make it the same on both sides, I ended up taking it out. So if I put that in there, I think that's how it goes. Too bad if I've got to pull that out again. Ooh. And then goes on here like that. So the arm can pivot out from the shoulder, but there was another piece that sort of comes out this way and slides on this track, a little piston sort of moves back and forth. So unfortunately I lost one of those, and as a result I thought I'll just take it out for both. So that's what I did. But like I said, it was fortunate in the fact that it was, it was a piece that was pretty minor. It wasn't like a major armor piece. And I mean, I'm certainly no craftsman or anything when it comes to this sort of stuff, but a craftsman is just someone who's really good at hiding their mistakes. So I kind of figure if I can at least hide it a little bit, I'm getting towards being a craftsman. Yeah, so there would be a piston that goes from there to slide on that little track, and one on each side, and I'm taking both of those out. So for those of you who've built this kit, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, and for those of you who haven't built this kit, it won't matter because it still works. But just to actually, what it does, it means the arms can pivot out further than probably what they should be able to. So the piston in here sort of prevents them from bending too far out, or pivoting too far out. Okay, so I'm working on the head. I have the torso finished, the backpack, got them all together. Just need to put his head on. Okay, so got all the head pieces together. I'd already put the stickers on the clear parts for the cameras and the eyes, so that's why they're already there. I did that back when I got the kit, just to I'd actually panel lined it as well, but just with a Gundam marker. But of course I painted over that because it looked rubbish. Follow the pictures, Ben. It's not that difficult. Not that difficult. It's definitely the flat edge. Wow, I'm really struggling with with putting two pieces together. Why, jingo. Alright, so his neck pistons sort of tuck in under there, and then we push this into place, I guess. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put his head. Ooh, that's tight. There we go. Definitely doesn't look the part without his V-fin, but it's definitely better to sort out all the fitting everything together before we do the V-fin, because it's going to be pretty fragile once it's in place. There we go. We have a pretty complete Gundam, I think. So I can put him to the side, and now we shall look at what else we got. The Core Fighter. Core Fighter kind of always amused me in Gundam, just because, you know, the whole idea of the mobile suit having to sort of come to bits for the Core Fighter to fold up in it. You look at some of the other sort of anime with large robots or large mech, you know, like Mazinger or whatever. The fighter actually sort of lands on the head, which kind of makes a bit more sense. But needless to say, it is still good fun. I know that if I push that down like that, I'm not going to be able to get it open again. You goose. Let's get the other one in and see if we can pry him up. Maybe just leave him down. The other one popped in there, but this one's proving to be a bit more difficult. Yep. There we go. Yeah, I really want those. I want those rocket launchers coming up. Not what these tweezers should be used for, but if it works, it works. There we go. Now I did do a very, very rough paint job on the Pilot, just a bit of a wash and a bit of clear blue, to me a clear blue for his visor, but I kind of figure, look, you're never going to see it, so ooh. I want to make sure he's sat down in there, because I remember that the canopy is quite close to the top of his head, so I want to make sure he's pressed firmly in there. Ready to go. It does come with a base, which I think is good. I know a couple of the other kits that come with core fighters, they don't necessarily come with a stand as well, which I think is a bit of a shame. And there we go. These missile launchers are going to do my head in. Don't scratch the paint. There we go. Alright, it's come up pretty cool, and I actually managed not to scratch too much paint on that one, if anything, so that's a win for me. That's a win, I'll take it. Alright, so the last thing to do, I believe, is the weapons. Now for the lens on the scope, I actually painted it orange, and then I filled it up with a bit of, to me, a clear yellow, and it sort of went a bit cloudy. But then what I ended up doing was putting some Testers canopy glue or whatever it is over the top. Let me get that. This stuff. This is brilliant. I love this stuff. So this works like PVA or white glue, but it's dries super clear, and it's quite thin, so you can sort of, you know, I did it in layers, but I could do sort of multiple drops on it to kind of create a bit of a bubble that you can kind of see there. It didn't come out exactly the way I wanted, but it's not too bad. It's pretty close. I'm not going to complain about too much. So that just snaps in there. So, you know, at least that's... I've just noticed that obviously that glue hasn't dried because that's alright. Yeah, it's something a little bit different. It's not your sort of stock standard just yellow scope, and that pops in like that. And we have quite a cool looking weapon, I reckon. So happy with that one. Let's do the Gundam hammer. Now the chain's a bit of a pain in the neck to sort of paint, so it's not fantastic, but I did sort of paint it up in a metallic, so there was a bit of a contrast between the chain, the anchor, and the ball. Now I'm a bit mad at myself. You might have noticed in the painting footage, I can't remember if I showed it or not, but there is a seam line that came up there and I didn't clean it properly. And that's annoying. Yep, just lost one. I think I need to get myself an apron or something that sits on my lap, so as pieces go flying, they, you know, they land in my lap as opposed to bounce on the floor. The other problem is the floor I've got in here is actually grey, so any pieces that fall down that are grey, it becomes a lot harder to find. There we go, there is the hammer. Alright, so Bazooka next. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So there was a piece that snapped off that I had to glue back on, and this is when I was disassembling it. So it'll be interesting to see if it lasts. I can't remember which one it was, because I think it was this end. Yeah, I think it was this end. So I might try and get that in first, but ooh, it's tight. Oh, look at that. Did it break? I don't think so. Okay. That's good. That's good. So I do like to put in a bit of colour variation in the weapons. Just find it, you know, gives them a bit more interest. So yeah, loving the bazooka. And of course got the matching beam rifle as well. The beam saber handles, they just plug in at the top, I believe. Somewhere. Yep. Got beam handles there. He just pulls out of his backpack. The next thing is the javelin, which I gotta say is quite an underwhelming weapon. You know, it's just really the you put the beam saber handle on the end of it, and then you've got this clear part here. I could paint it up if I wanted to, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not really that fussed by this particular weapon. I think the beam sabers or hyper bazooka, even the beam rifle, is just a bit more interesting than this thing. So that's the javelin, and last but not least, the shields. So I already put the screen, the draw down screen thing in. It's just a little bit fiddly. I had to sort of file a little bit just because it was getting a bit tight with the paint. But of course, once that's on there, the red parts just press into place. And the other thing that sort of struck me with these two shields is that there's a slight difference between them. So one of them has this bit here, and the other one doesn't. So if anyone can tell me why, I'd love to know, because I'm not sure why there's different part. Like it would be a different mold. So I don't understand that. But anyway. Maybe I wasn't supposed to build the second shield. I don't know. But anyway, there we go. 2 shields done. And basically it's complete. So it's just a matter of me putting together maybe a few photos of this thing, hopefully posed up reasonably well. I don't know if I'll put it on an action base or not. We'll have a look and see. But that's yeah, that's essentially the version 2.0 RX782. Good kit. I really like it. Of course, I made a few stuff-ups along the way. The other thing is that I'm really happy with the SMS paints. These things are just a joy to use. Putting this together, I found that although the paint will scratch, it takes quite a bit to actually scratch it. So it's a nice change from what I'm used to using, which, you know, water-based acrylics, you look at it sideways and it'll scratch on you. So I think, yeah, that's good. So I've got a couple of small scratches. I've got one on the door here. I've got one on, is it one of the kneecaps, if I remember rightly? Yeah, one in here. I mean, it's minuscule, you can't see it on the screen, but it is tiny and hardly seen. And then, of course, I've got the crack down the back of his arm. So that's unfortunate, but you know, things happen. Things happen. The main thing, you know, I get out of the hobby is the actual construction and the painting of these things. When they're up on the shelf, I do enjoy sort of seeing them up on the shelf. I'm not, you know, I'm not one who sort of likes to sort of paint these things and then forget about them. I do like seeing them on the shelf, and one day I'll put a video together or tour my shelves of Japanese culture, not just Gundam, but a whole lot of other stuff as well. The model kits that I've worked on, and Gashapon collection and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, yep, next to follow is a slideshow of this guy.